There's been a reaction from the United States president as well. Joe Biden has said that the killing of Hamas leader Yahya Sinwar by Israeli troops is a good day for the world. Speaking on his arrival in Berlin, Biden said now was the time to move on. In fact, he called the killing an opportunity to free Israeli hostages held by Hamas and end the year-long war in Gaza. Biden said he spoke with Mr. Netanyahu from Air Force One about next steps. He told reporters he was dispatching U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken to Israel. We have a reaction from Joe Biden lined up for you, followed by a reaction from the editor-in-chief of the Jerusalem Post, Ms. Zwika Klein, who spoke to Osama Shab earlier.
Good day for the world. We got I told this now that is President Kamala Sinwar. They have called a bloody ass. American blood, Israeli blood, nothing.
My first question to you is, how does Israel now view Sinwar's elimination, especially in terms of achieving justice for the October 7th attack?
Thank you for having me. So I would say most Israelis are very positive about the situation. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu actually just spoke live and said any member of Hamas who is holding a hostage will be able to let go, free and leave the Gaza Strip. I think definitely the Israelis feel like there's a momentum when it comes to the military situation, with succeeding both in Gaza and in Lebanon with Hezbollah. Obviously, unfortunately, many Israelis were also killed during these operations, but the elimination of all these leaders is something that Israelis feel a bit of, I wouldn't say joy, but a bit of strength.
Right. Is there also a fear of potential repercussions? Do you think there are concerns about potential attacks or escalation from Hamas or such organizations?
So, I mean, I definitely know just a few hours ago, the Israeli prison system said they were on high alert because of, members of Hamas in Israeli jails would possibly try and, uprise. That said, I think Hamas's situation, as we've seen, has been a lot, that they've become a lot less strong, very weak in that sense. So obviously there may be anecdotal types of attacks, but the sense is the fact that this leader, as well as other leaders, but this is the most prominent leader, being eliminated by the IDF is something that will affect Hamas inwards. In the past few weeks, there were reports saying that Sinwar wasn't actually able to communicate with his organization, definitely after the attack that was allegedly claimed that Israel, bombed thousands of Hezbollah members in Lebanon through pagers. So really the communication of Sinwar was mainly with written paper with the members of his organization. So, not being able to manage your own organization and then being eliminated is something that definitely will have its toll and effect.
Zwika, I also want to understand the impact on Hamas, his death, Yahya Sinwar's death, on his impact on Hamas. How will his death affect Hamas's leadership now, according to you, and all its operation? And do you feel there is a potential successor in this particular case?
I mean, there were different names that were potentially raised. I'm not going to get into the specific names, but in general, the sense is that Israel has eliminated both Yahya Sinwar reported today, but also eliminated other senior officials, whether in Iran, whether in Syria, whether in Gaza, and in Lebanon. So the sense is that there really isn't any senior leadership in Hamas, as well as tens of thousands of members of the organization that were eliminated by the IDF and Israeli security forces.